Coming up on Operation Outreach, a program right here in Central Florida that ensures military veterans get connected with the services they need. The Veterans Entrepreneurship Initiative, VEI, is empowering and supporting veterans through business guidance, education, and mentorship. Today, we will hear how they are equipping veterans here in Central Florida with the tools, knowledge, and network to launch and grow successful businesses. Welcome to Operation Outreach, a new program to highlight the services available to military veterans right here in Central Florida. I'm Fred Robinson, Chair of the Orange County Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. Here to tell us more about VEI, or the Veterans Entrepreneurial Initiative, is Ricardo Garcia, co-founder, vice president, and director of the program. Ricardo, thank you for joining me today.
Fred, thank you for having me. Honored to be here.
All right. And Ricardo, what motivated you to start VEI?
Certainly, yeah. The military, right? I spent time in the United States Air Force. I deployed to Afghanistan back in 2008, and so it was one of the hardest jobs I ever did in my life. Probably one of the hardest I will ever do. I did medical evacuations by triage, right? So it was an intense job, but you know that taught me something that I think has stuck with me for the rest of my life and my career, which is I was part of a greater mission, right? This greater purpose, and you know, something that was much bigger than me. And with that, you experience this unsurpassed level of camaraderie, where you know the person to your left and the person to your right, they have your back, no matter what, right? And you're resilient through whatever mission you have at hand, right? Whatever challenge may come. And so, you know, fast forward when I transitioned out, we had a hypothesis that veterans make great entrepreneurs, and it's all attributed by everything the military instilled within us, right? That mission-driven mentality, attention to detail, but more importantly in entrepreneurship, resilience and adaptability. So it started as a passion project. My co-founder and I, working at the UCF Business Incubation Program, we saw what all these great resources and connectivity did for early stage tech companies. And so we wanted to leverage that, but for veterans, right? Veterans that had ideas in entrepreneurship but didn't really know how to go about it. And so in a nutshell, that's where VEI was born. Since then, we've had the opportunity to empower over 600 veteran entrepreneurs across Florida and beyond. Some folks have joined us from other parts of the country, which has been really fulfilling. Some of them have gone on to do incredible things, right? And have a positive economic impact in our region, and also create jobs. So it's great stuff.
And who is your co-founder, and some of the challenges and how you evolved since 2013?
Sure. Yeah. So Rafael Camano, he's also an Army veteran. I'm an Air Force veteran, and so at the time, our director at the incubator, Gordon Hogan, was also an Army veteran. He gave us the green light. We wanted to do this, and he gave us the green light. So this was a passion project, an extracurricular that we did on the side of our jobs. And you know, initially we started working one-on-one, coaching veterans. Fast forward a few years, we structured a curriculum, and then we started doing classes on Saturday. In about 2019, 2020, we spun it off from the university as an independent 501c3 nonprofit organization, which it is today. And that enabled us to build a brand and foster connections, new partnerships, and have a deeper impact in the work that we do, the cohorts that we offer, the programs that we offer, and more importantly, building this community of like-minded veteran entrepreneurs that you know, when you bring veterans together in the same room for a common purpose, in this case, entrepreneurship, great things happen. So we've been fostering that community over the years and really building it up here in Central Florida.
Great. And what are some of the key challenges that veterans have starting a business after military service?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. So to my point on being part of a greater mission and greater purpose when you're in the military, I think many veterans, when they transition out of the military, they struggle with that, right? I think it's all because we all long for that greater mission, greater purpose, and it's hard to find that in the civilian world. At times it feels like you're on your own, right? I know for me it was a challenge coming out of the military, looking for that. All of a sudden I didn't have my military family or that greater mission, that greater purpose. So I think that's partly why veterans struggle transitioning out. So VEI is looking to bridge that gap and helping veterans find that new mission and purpose through entrepreneurship. And so I think some of the challenges that they face is just the transitioning is challenging from the military. The second thing is resources and connections, right? In the military, you have this great network of leaders and folks across the organization. And when you transition out, you're kind of on your own, right? And depending on who you are in the military, whether you're enlisted or an officer, connecting and building relationships and networking, right? That's not inherently, it doesn't come on its own. So we wanted to foster that, right? And so providing them, plug them into our robust entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Central Florida is part of our mission. And then building this community, right? Beyond the training and beyond the programs, I think it's important for us to work together because collectively we can do great things.
And understanding that many businesses fail within 2 to 5 years, what resources do you have to help support these veteran businesses through these particular challenges?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So the core of our program, we offer programs that help meet where veterans may be at in their business development life cycle. So whether they're at the idea stage or they're scaling a high growth tech business, we have programs for all, right? And so through time, we've refined our programs based on their feedback, right? What we call it customer feedback loops, right? So as we engage with the veterans through these training programs, we listen, right? We listen to their feedback. We try to understand their challenges and the pain points that they're going through as they develop their businesses. So then we build programs and workshops to address those challenges, right? So I'll give you an example. Last year, we noticed that a lot of the veterans that were coming through our program were really weak with marketing and sales, right? And building a brand. They may have had compelling businesses or business models, meaning they had how the solution works and how impactful the solution could be. That was pretty well polished up. But how do you take that to market? We noticed there was a gap. So we built a couple master classes around sales and marketing and really to address those issues, right? And so I think that's how we build the program and the resources that we provide. So that's the training side. The other piece that we offer is connectivity, right? Connections and fostering introductions to our entrepreneurial ecosystem, to other resource partners in the community, to other service providers and folks that can enable their success. I think that's what it's all about. So.
Well, Ricardo, listen, I want to thank you so much for letting me interview you today, your service, and giving us more information about VEI.
Thank you, Fred. It's an honor to be here, and I really appreciate you all doing this. So.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to know that there are organizations like VEI in Central Florida helping veterans realize their entrepreneurial goals. VEI is indeed making a difference in our community, and when we come back, we'll hear from Tim Anderson of My Health Matrix, who will share more about the work of VEI. Leadership, teamwork, resilience, and adaptability are valuable skills instilled by the military. VEI is working with veterans to use these transferable skills to build stronger businesses. Here to tell us more is Tim Anderson of My Health Matrix. Tim, welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
And Tim, what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the U.S. Army.
Okay. And what I wanted to ask you is, when you first got out the military, did you consider starting your own business or did you work for someone?
Oh, I had no skill to start a business when I got out of the military. I absolutely was just an employee.
Okay. And with that being said, what inspired you to start your own business?
So I've been a physician assistant for approximately 20 years.
Okay.
And I've been doing hormone replacement therapy and holistic wellness for the last 10 years. And it's so impactful and changes lives. And about 2 years ago, I knew I was getting to the point in my old practice where I either had to be comfortable just taking care of 450 people on a monthly basis, or I needed to make a change where I could train other providers to run the protocol that I have been working with to have reproducible, consistent results. And I knew that I'm supposed to impact more people. So what I did is I started my own clinic with a partner, and now we're working on training other providers in different clinics through an affiliate setting to impact patients and change lives.
And how long did it take for you to start your business in the clinic, and how many people do you employ or you have outreach to?
So it took us about 6 months
Okay.
from kind of getting LLCs and looking for a place and, building it out and such. And so we've been open around 2 years now. I currently have 4 employees plus me and my partner, so there's 6 of us at our current location.
And how has VEI impacted you with your business?
So I was introduced through VEI through actually a group called FAVOB. One of the leaders there introduced me to VEI. And I went to an open house, and they were talking about a couple programs they have. One's called Startup, one's called Step Up. Step Up is a 6 sessions where businesses who are already operating and have revenue, you go to this and they help train you in advancement, growth, hiring, finances. They give you the tools for that growth that, as a veteran, I didn't have.
And what are some of the biggest challenges you had with starting your own business?
Just the confidence, not knowing what to do. And the medical piece, I have the medical piece, I have the knowledge, I have the skill. I had no clue how to operate a business, to hire, to the contracts, to payroll, to taxes. And VEI really helped give us some direction. They put us in front of resources. They've been mentors. They become personal mentors to me.
And yourself being successful with your business, how have you supported other veterans who are having challenges starting their own businesses?
So one of the really cool things with VEI is when you're in the cohort, you're with other veteran business owners. So even though I went through the program approximately 18 months ago, I still talk to a couple of people that are in my business, or in my cohort, a couple times a month. We'll reach out. Hey, how's everything? Hey, I'm having this challenge. They'll reach out to me. Hey, do you have 2 minutes? And they'll ask me questions. And just being there, and through FAVOB, through VEI, just going to open houses, going to networking meetings, helping to support other veterans. Hey, you have a question, call me, I'll help.
Well, with us being veterans, we want to see each other succeed, where a lot of other companies, they don't care. They just care about their own particular company. How has that been beneficial to you as far as other veterans businesses, let's say, for instance, empowering you and mentoring to you?
Yeah, so you make a really good point. In the traditional community, it's I'm succeeding in my business, I don't care about your business. If your business fails, I get more people coming to my business. In the veteran business, you see people all the time. Hey, how can I help you? How can we collaborate? How can we share knowledge? And it's not a dog eat dog. We're trying to push each other over the wall. Here, get on my back, let me help you up if you're struggling. And totally see that in the VEI.
Okay, and with that being said, what would you share with a gentleman or a young lady who would want to start their own business that are veterans? What kind of influence would you give them to start their own business?
Be confident. You don't have to know everything. If you have an idea, VEI will help you put that idea into action. And they have another program called Startup, which is their first session. They will take you all the way from helping you form your LLC. They will help you with getting a building. They will help you with business plans. They'll help you with marketing. And ask for help. Know that there's resources. And the greatest part about VEI, it's free. And there's no cost to the veteran at all. Your cost is your time that you invest in yourself.
With that being said, it's great that it's a free program. It's also great to have the collaboration with veterans to, give them the fortitude that they can do it, that you've done it, and been instrumental to them in that particular thing. And what is your purpose of having your own business? What is your purpose of what you do with holistic medicine? Why in that field?
So for me, it's our goal is we want to help people live well longer. And traditional medicine isn't here, in my opinion, to help you live well longer. They want you a little bit sick, not a lot of bit sick. They're not looking for the wellness aspect. Unfortunately, what we do isn't covered by insurance. So we're all cash-based, but we look at whole health, top to bottom. We go deep dive. It's not just hormones, it's minerals, it's stress, it's nutrition, it's sleep, it's hydration. We tell patients, we're looking at all of you, not just the hormone piece of you. Because if I don't fix the whole puzzle, you're never gonna feel amazing and well. And that's just, it works.
Well, the main thing is to prevent yourself from getting sick up front with the whole health. Yeah. Tim, listen, I really appreciate your service. Thank you for coming here today and speaking about your business and why you do what you do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're very welcome. Tim's story is a great example of how VEI is helping veterans create and build substantial businesses. Veterans face various obstacles in their entrepreneurial journey. Two major obstacles are lack of access to capital and difficulty navigating business ownership. After the break, we will hear more about VEI programs and how they are solving the problems veteran entrepreneurs are facing. In this third and final segment, we are joined again by Ricardo Garcia, co-founder, vice president, and director of program with VEI. To continue our discussion, Ricardo, what is the VEI launch program?
Certainly.
And why was it developed?
Yep. Yeah, so the VEI launch program is one of our cohort-based trainings, one of our core programs. And so VEI launch is for veterans that are at the idea stage or in the early stages of business development. In that cohort, we teach them the Lean Startup methodology, business model canvas. So we're in this intensive 6 to 7 session cohort, they're able to refine their business model, identify their customer segments, and really fine-tune everything from the customer-facing side of the business model to what do you need to do in order to deliver the value proposition for your customer segment? How much is it going to cost you, and how are you going to make money? So it's a really powerful methodology that enables them to do this iterative process of customer discovery and refine and fine-tune their business model to where at the end of the cohort, they have a solid business model that they can go out and test with customers and begin to build. So,
and how does the VEI Scale Up program help veterans improve their business?
Sure. VEI Scale Up is for veterans that have a business, are generating revenue, and need help taking their businesses to the next level. With that program, we bring in subject matter experts and different domain expertise to enable to help them build growth strategies. How do you scale the business? How do you build a team around you? How do you automate some of the processes and create an operating business model that is repeatable that can enable you to scale? So it's a great program. It helps veterans really think about the next phase of their business, right? What do you want to see the business in the next 6 months, 1 year to 5 years, right? And how do you build a plan to get there? So.
And what are the specific downfalls that you notice that veterans may be challenged with growing their business?
Yep, I think in VEI Scale Up, particularly folks that have a business and are generating revenue, oftentimes they're wearing many hats across their companies, right? And they're stuck working in the business rather than on the business. If they're stuck working in the business, then they can't work on it to enable the business's growth. And so, help them to understand that, to figure out what type of skill sets they need to bring on the business to enable, to start to delegate some of those key roles of the business, and then enable their growth, right? So they can free up their time to work on the business and less so inside the business.
And do you provide different resources where they can gain that information?
We do, yes. So like I mentioned, we bring in subject matter experts to come and teach different parts of of these programs. And then we also connect them with other resource providers and other organizations across our entrepreneurial ecosystem to foster their connections and their growth, right? The other thing that happens organically, which I think is a big add value, is that when you bring veterans and like-minded veteran entrepreneurs in one place, they want to help each other, right? So we see that often, the synergy and the collaboration that is born during these classes is really great. We've seen veterans that they come in, they don't know each other, right? But they're in this path and this journey together. Fast forward a few months after they've gone through the program, they're collaborating, they're either bartering services or they're going together into business. And so it's really great. They facilitate, there's a lot of peer-to-peer learning. They facilitate introductions for each other. And so it's really powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's important because, veterans will stick together because we want to see each other succeed. Right. So I can understand the camaraderie and the relationships that are developed. And also, what can you tell me about the Spear Accelerator program? Sure.
Yeah, Spear Accelerator program is one of our newest programs. We launched the Spear Accelerator last May at our annual summit. And it's a 3-month tech accelerator program focused on helping early stage veteran-led tech companies accelerate and grow. And so the differentiator, the secret sauce behind the Spear Accelerator is that, one, it's a national program. We're helping veteran-led tech companies. And thirdly, each cohort or class that we do, we focus it on an emerging tech sector or industry vertical. And then with that, we'll go out and partner with leaders in that industry to source speakers, source mentors, and source resources to build that path to scalability for the startups. Our inaugural cohort focused on health tech. We sourced 9 veteran-led tech startups from across the country. 5 of them were based outside of Florida. 4 of them were based throughout Florida. And we partnered with Johns Hopkins University. And through that partnership, we were able to source some really great speakers, source resources for the startups, and then we matched them up with mentors. Each startup got 3 mentors, 2 to 3 mentors. And these mentors are seasoned entrepreneurs, folks that have scaled companies, sold them for hundreds of millions of dollars, or healthcare executives, domain experts that can add a ton of value and facilitate connections for the startups. And so it's a great program. We think the impact of this will be significant. And the whole goal here is to accelerate their path to scalability. These veterans are doing some incredible stuff around leveraging artificial intelligence in healthcare, neurotechnologies, and digital health. So.
And what is the main goal of the business summit?
Yeah, so our annual Veteran Business Summit, that is our signature event. We do that once a year around May. And the goal of it is really to showcase all the great work and innovation that the veteran business community is doing, right? So it's a place to inspire, to facilitate connections, to foster innovation and collaboration, and really highlight all the incredible things our veteran business community is doing throughout the region. So we bring together folks from all over Florida, veterans and leaders across the state to come and foster this innovation and collaboration. So,
well, Ricardo, again, thank you so much for letting me interview you today. Thank you for your service. Continue the good work. We go back quite a few years.
We do.
And thank you again for everything that you're doing.
Likewise, thank you so much, Fred. Thank you for all you do for our veterans, and super grateful for the opportunity to be here today.
I appreciate it. It is good to have organizations like VEI help veterans create and build substantial businesses that are contributing to the economic growth for our country. There's a lot to learn about VEI. If you'd like to learn more information on anything we discussed today, as well as how to connect with VEI, just go to www.ocfl.net/veterans. That's where you'll be able to find links and contact information you need. I hope you'll join us again for Operation Outreach, as we will continue to highlight the many programs and services available to military veterans in Central Florida. Until then, I'm Fred Robinson. Take care, and thanks again for watching.